everyone. Today I have Petya with me. Firstly, I want to ask you, before you started working with me, what did your health and nutrition look like?
Oh, it was like awful. I didn't know anything about like eating healthy and so on. Like I was
Yeah.
reading random stuff here and there, but like the information wasn't sufficient, and it was like it was insufficient and too much at the same time.
Yes, yeah.
Like random pieces of info here and there just scattered over the internet, and there are different suggestions on how you can lose weight, what you should do, what you shouldn't, and some of them are like the opposite of each other. So if a person decides to like go on that road to change, it's really hard to do it by themselves, especially when they don't have any knowledge about it. And yeah, my eating habits were yeah, bad, extremely bad.
And how about your fitness?
I'm not the fitness type. Like, I don't really like sports. I prefer walking, for example. Especially with COVID, it became even worse because here we were locked up for some time, and especially in colder months, you simply cannot leave the house.
Yeah.
But sometimes I do get motivated to like exercise a bit at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally I prefer just a nice long walk in the park, for example.
What else did you try before starting the plan with me?
Um, Counting calories is one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if what you eat is not what you need,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't work.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it simply doesn't work. You might be eating less, like fewer calories, but your health wouldn't improve.
Yeah.
Because if you eat lots of carbs and basically garbage, it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, exactly. Before starting with paleo lifestyle, what were your biggest worries or fears about it? Like, for example, things that were stopping
Um,
you from taking the leap or delaying you from starting.
well, I wasn't sure if like I'll be able to make it if I'll have enough time to
Yeah,
like make food all the time.
of course.
Because as every other busy person, on many occasions I was relying on fast food, something grabbed on the go. So yeah, this was something that I was unsure about, like if I will manage to
Mhm.
to keep up with the cooking.
Yeah.
But actually with time and like there are multiple recipes, even some created by you,
Yeah.
that are easy, they don't take time, so and you can prepare them in advance
Mhm.
for the times when you don't have time to cook. So yeah, this was one of my biggest fears, if I will actually be able to keep up with this style of eating. I wouldn't call it a diet because when we use the word diet, it has this negative annotation to it.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. So yeah, this was one of my biggest concerns.
So,
And another one was that I'm a foodie.
okay.
Like I enjoy the act of eating and like the taste and all the stuff. And I wasn't sure like, is it going to be tasty or, or yeah. So this was another concern, if I would be enjoying the food.
Yeah. So how did you get over it? What was the main reason that you decided to jump into it and start working with me?
Well, during the first lockdown, like throughout my whole life, I was always a bit like fluffy, but especially during the first lockdown, I gained some extra weight. It
Yeah.
wasn't a little. So yeah, I decided it's time for a change. Moreover, I happened like in the past couple of years, I happened to develop an unhealthy relationship with food, psychological wise. So yeah, I had to do something that was both good for my body and good for my mind.
Yes. How did you feel the moment when you decided to do it?
I was excited and I got the feeling of control.
Okay.
Because yeah, usually when people have problems either with their weight or their how they feel about eating and food, uh, the sense of control is one of the biggest turn points.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt that I regained control over my eating and I started regaining control over my body.
Yeah, that's amazing. How much weight did you lose during our time together?
So far, it's around like 15 to 17
Kilo?
kilos. Yeah, but I had some downs like stress related. So um, yeah, I did uh, have a couple of fails, let's call them. But the most important part is to like
Keep going.
sometimes your will breaks and you like cheat, but this shouldn't lead you to stop.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the right
Yeah,
attitude about it. And
yeah, like
that's why
yeah, it may happen sometimes, but yeah, it's just important to like keep pushing, keep going.
exactly. Uh-huh. That's how you get the results. You just have to keep going and don't
Yeah,
discourage yourself.
yeah, exactly.
What did your transformation allow you to do in life? Any positive changes?
Well, for one, like I can actually feel my collarbone, so that's something. Um, well, I feel better in my skin,
Mm-hmm.
like in my clothes.
Of course, yeah.
Um, it's easier to find clothes now. Like it's just a few sizes, but like I can actually find clothing in the regular retailers. It doesn't have to be like plus size stores,
Yes, exactly.
uh, which is something that has a huge impact, at least on my self-esteem.
Of course, of course.
And I feel more energetic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like for a change, like compared to all these years so far, um, I don't feel sleepy after I eat.
Yeah.
Like the lunch break, it's not like some torture time. Because when you go back to work after it and you're like, oh, God damn it, I have to work again. I don't have the energy.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not like that. I actually feel more energized, and eating doesn't interfere with, like, the food doesn't interfere with my other activities.
Yeah. And especially since you've been diagnosed with insulin resistance, that's also helping, right? To eat less
Yeah,
carbohydrates, so you would have more energy because of that.
exactly, exactly. Especially when, to insulin, it makes a huge difference.
Yes, of course. You because you can't live on medication all your life. It's not possible. Last question. What would you say to people who are thinking about working with me and might be in a similar position as you, but are still unsure and on the fence?
I would tell them to go for it. People like me feel ashamed at points, and you feel that starting the change means that you acknowledge you failed, but it's not like that. It's never late to start. It's never late to start, and even if you like fail at points, like you take a step on the side, you just have to keep going. The point is that the origin of all troubles, let's call it, comes from self-guilt, and people should allow themselves to be released from this guilt and accept the good that can be given to them.
Exactly. There is hope and you can change. Just put your mind to it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Exactly. So, yeah. Thank you.